Black man down, black man down. Shootings all over across the country. There's another one. Police just shot another victim. There's another one. Police just shot another victim. What's disturbing to me about this whole entire issue is that we want to talk about medical malpractice. And we want to say another child is down. Another woman is down. Another grandmother, another parent, another sister, another cousin is down. And there is no one who's listening. We don't have a problem with people looking at this issue and saying, Black lives matter. But what about all lives matter at this point? We want to know why no one is listening to those that are being harmed by medical malpractice. Medical negligence, which simply means harm. In the midst of all of this police brutality, we are having doctor brutality towards patients in hospitals and in nursing homes. What are we going to do? Nobody's saying anything. Nobody cares. Nobody wants to care. We want to know why. July is deemed Medical Malpractice Month. I don't know if you know, but 1.5 million people die a year from medical malpractice. It's the third leading cause of death. So that simply means that police brutality is underneath there, because it's nowhere on the books. But medical malpractice is. Matter of fact, it might be number one because it says it's behind heart disease and cancer. But because now that we have doctors who are diagnosing patients without a true diagnosis, or they're giving them diagnosis that they don't have, who's to say if that's the truth? So we are the number one cause of death. When are we going to be upset? When is somebody going to cry some tears for us? We're walking into hospitals and we're coming out with little body bags. Little bags with our little trinkets in it from our loved ones. You got their clothes and their shoes. You went in there with one and you come out with a little bag. And nobody's saying anything. I was looking at last night, and I was looking at the doctor, Dr. Brian Williams. This doctor has been traveling across the country in different states, moving from state to state. He's on the TV crying and making this suggestion that, lives matter and that it needs to stop, and how hard he worked to keep someone alive and it didn't have help. So what do we say in the medical malpractice community when we look at that same doctor who's quiet when somebody's harmed in a medical room? You tell me, what do we do? What do we say? How do we feel? It's time to speak up. Every time the medical malpractice community seems to want to jump in there and say something, they start doing all this other stuff so that our minds can get off of it. People, your family members are in danger. We just found out that 2,400 doctors were accused of sexually molesting their patients, and they were allowed and still allowed to practice in a hospital. They don't have to go and get on a register for sex offenders. They don't even have to report it. Ask yourself, if someone out here in the regular community rapes and sexually assaults someone, what do? They go to jail. Not if you got on a white coat. If you got it on a white coat, you can go back to work in the morning. What are we going to do on a national level to make people understand, and excuse me because it's a hair in my mouth, but I am upset. I'm disturbed at the nation that is only looking at certain things and the hypocrisy that I saw where the medical community in Dallas and in some of these other places are saying we need to save lives, and the lives that we've saved. But when a person just walks in off the street, you don't care about that life. You don't care whether or not they live. You don't care if they die. Matter of fact, you enhance it. You're going and you're creating these new rules and regulations. Matter of fact, there's a new law out there, you all, that you don't know about, that now you can they can give you a pill where you can kill yourself in a hospital if they deem that you have a terminal illness. Now, my question is that not assisted suicide? But instead, it's in a community and it's in a hospital where you can take the pill. Your insurance company pays for it. And guess what? They get paid. I've never heard of such. I'm not understanding where you have doctors with criminal histories. And I've talked to medical boards and they're claiming, oh, what do you mean by criminal histories? Well, just what I'm saying. Murder, rape, sexual assault, drugs, alcohol abuse, all of those things are rampant and nobody's saying a word. I want to know who's upset. I'm upset. Somebody else needs to be upset besides me. I need you all to join us and to say medical malpractice has to stop. See, in the medical community, they've been having all this propaganda about, oh, people are filing frivolous lawsuits and all they want to do is sue. That's not true. What is true is that you're harming patients and then you falsify medical documents and people are angry. And then you say that it's the patient's fault and that's the reason why the patient has passed away. And so then therefore, guess what? You got an angry audience. I know and have spoken to people all across this country. We're talking about Africa and China and Israel, Spain, all of these countries, United States. We're having the same problems. Doctors are harming patients at enormous rates and getting away with it. We want to know when somebody in this United States is going to listen. I'm just saying, because somebody just asked me, why are they just talking about police brutality when they're having all of this medical malpractice issues? Nobody, mainstream media, why you don't want to listen to what we have to say? See, the little bitty people out here who can't speak for themselves are sitting there, they're crying out, they're asking for help. But they can't because your legislators are getting money in the back pocket to keep it quiet. Out of all of the legislators and lobbyists in the country, there's not one lobbyist, you all, for those who have been harmed by medical negligence. I find that kind of strange that there's not one entity in the entire United States that is for the people who have been harmed by a doctor. What makes it right for a doctor to falsify medical records? What makes it right for a doctor to drink, get high, and go into an operating room and operate on patients, and you say it's okay? What is okay with them when you say Dr. Joe is your doctor, but Dr. Sam is doing your surgery? You wake up, you don't know. We're resorting to cameras and audio equipment, just like police brutality, because we can't trust the community. And you don't have to ask me. Ask some of the doctors that are on our team. that are with the National Medical Malpractice Advocacy Association. Talk to them. Talk to some of the nurses who have stood by and seen this stuff happen. And when they come up and when they want to speak out, what do? You shun them, you push them out, and then you begin to attack them for telling the truth. When will you allow us to tell the truth? That's what I want to know. Some people are saying the governments are letting it happen. You are absolutely right. The government is doing it. The government is letting them do it. They tell you, go back to the states. Well, why should you go back to the states when your governor, when your health department, and the doctors are all golfing buddies? They all go on the golfing course and they talk about what they're going to do and how they're going to do it. What do we do as a community to protect ourselves? And then when people get angry, you say, wow, they're angry. Why did they go off? Why are they so upset? Well, I told these words to someone the other day, and I said, oppression causes outrage. And oppression, people, means uncruel and unjust punishment over a period of time. That's all it simply means. It simply means that someone has been abused, someone has been harmed over a whole long period of time. And then after trying to tell you to stop or trying to ask you, please help me, please, and you choose not to, that's what you get, is outrage. I don't condone people going out shooting. I don't condone people, doing things that harm other people. But you have to understand in this country, people, that it's not about race. It really isn't. It's about control. It is about control of a nation. My people, medical malpractice does not have a color. It's not black. It's not white. It's not green. It's not yellow. It doesn't care if you're 2. It doesn't care if you're newborn. It doesn't care if you even wasn't born yet. It will kill you if you let it. So what are we going to do as a nation? We've been talking about this, and I know that some of those that are joining me right now, we've been talking about this for years. We've been talking about it, I know, at least 5 years. Every now and then you see it on TV, and it's very sporadic. You see a story here, you see a story here. You see doctors, dentists. One dentist just the other day, he raped somebody or sexually molested a child just while the family members are sitting in the lobby. You have these doctors who are taking drugs while they're supposed to be giving it to you. And nobody thinks that that's a problem. What are we going to do, people? What are we going to do? We cannot continue this process and y'all just say it's okay. But that's what we're getting. They don't say, well, there's nothing we can do. I mean, how many times do you keep saying there is nothing you can do until somebody snaps? People are committing suicide in the medical malpractice arena, whether it's a doctor or a nurse or the patient. We've gotten people who have become distracted. They can't think. They've losing their homes. They're losing their livelihood. Nobody is saying a word. They're taking your homes from you. They're taking your family members in nursing homes, putting them in guardianship programs without your permission. What you people don't understand is that now your life does not belong to you. Do we not have the rights? Do we not have the right to vote? Do we not have the right to say what we want and what we do not want? Right now, I can tell you absolutely no. Because we have been asleep, community. We fell asleep somewhere and we trusted, but now the trust is gone. How do we get it back? We get it back by understanding that you need to tell the truth and give us justice. When we can't get justice, you're going to continue to get the outrage. Some of the stuff that we are seeing and the causes of death that is happening is a cut and shut case. You shut it down, let them go, put them in jail, take the lives, take the livelihoods, let it go. But no, you don't do that. You let these people go away. You let them go to another state to practice medicine, or guess what? Or you will let them do what? Go back and be a police officer and do it again. Why would you not think that this is a problem? This is the United States of America, and we don't have the right to do anything. I'm sorry, my people. We have to do better. We have to do better. First of all, we got to raise our voices and say what is the truth. You cannot sugarcoat this stuff. It's not pretty. It's not going to stay pretty until people decide to look at each and every one of us and say, it's not just a black life. It's not just a white life, but all lives matter in the United States of America. If you're with me, we want to see you October the 17th through the 19th at the first medical malpractice conference, because guess what? There has never been an agency that has fought for those who have been harmed like we want to fight for you. It's time to stand up. It's time to say enough is enough. I hope you understand what I'm saying, and I hope you're with me. I hope you tell your friends. I hope you mention this over and over and over and over again. I've been looking at Dale, Big Tree, and Vaxxed. I commend them for coming out with the truth. See, the truth hurts, and people don't want to hear the truth. But how are we to be healed, and how are we to be changed if the truth is covered up? My people, God says, if my people would humble themselves, we're not going to make it. We have to do better as a people to understand that all lives, my people, everybody that has 2 feet, 2 arms, 2 eyes, who talks and looks just like you, all their lives matter. So let's get along. Let's do the right thing, and let's get these people who are legislators who will not listen to us, get them out of office, and plaster them, make noise, tell people about what's going on. Tell it to the top of your lungs until somebody hears your cry. Because if we stop talking, if we give up, if we continue to push it up under the grass, you will never be free. We say we live in the United States of America. We say we're free, but we're not free until we get rid of the people who have the mindset of keeping us underground. I love you. I thank you for listening, and tune in, because we have more to come about medical malpractice. Whatever you need to know, whatever you want to ask, you can reach us at www.nmmaa.org. We're ready to talk to you. We have people in Canada. We have people in Africa. We have people in Israel. We have people in China. We have people in the United States who are going through the same thing. You need to join together, and let's say it's time for change. Thank you for listening, and you all have a great day. Bye.